Good morning, everyone. It's Wolf Shipon. I am on Lake Parsippany this morning, and it's a beautiful, slightly overcast morning, which is exactly my favorite kind of morning to paddle. I want to talk with you about secondary gains. I had two clients this week on my caseload who came in talking about what were the factors that were just outside of awareness that kept them stuck in the patterns that they were in, or um, actually, one was very close to admitting what we call the secondary gain in psychology, in psychotherapy, which is the hidden factor or the slightly out of awareness factor that maintains a behavior. So, in one client's case, she was talking about diet and how she was not able to maintain her diet in the middle of the week and how hard that was. And um, she knows that she could pack her snacks and her lunch in the middle of the week, but um, she doesn't. And why might that be? And after a discussion, we arrived at that she is a person who is very private. And despite the fact that she knows that she should be quote unquote out there in the middle of the week and doing stuff with others in the middle of the week because somehow she arrived at the idea that that was an imperative, she doesn't want to. And what her dietary sabotage gives her the chance to do in the middle of the week is make an excuse for not wanting to see people. You may have heard of having a fat day. That appears to be what the client allows herself to do. She allows herself to feel guilt and shame. And in experiencing the guilt and shame, she does not go out during the week. So she essentially eats herself into guilt and shame and then gives herself the excuse to be a private person. And so the solution that we came up with was, why don't you plan for your dietary practices as you know how to do, and plan through the middle of the week, and then just make the decision, take the power back from your diet, to be social on these days and have personal time on these other days, rather than allowing your diet to dictate um, how you feel and therefore what you do. So it's just changing the location of the power in the relationship. Diet won't have the determination of whether or not she sees people. She will have the determination of whether or not she sees people. So she liked that. Another client came in with a secondary gain issue, but she was kind of aware of it. She came in saying that uh, really focusing greatly on the problem that a friend of hers was having was allowing her to disconnect from somebody in her life that she did not want to spend time with. And she had ample opportunity to spend time with this person, sort of no excuse to spend time with this person in her family, but she didn't want to, and her friend's difficult circumstances gave her the excuse not to. That too is a secondary gain issue. She's essentially saying, I'm assigning more importance to what's going on with my friend because I don't want to see this person who I quote unquote should see in my life. And honestly, in listening to her talk about it, I didn't have any advice for her. I think it was just my job to show her, to sort of highlight what she had been really saying, that she was using this other thing to avoid, what was happening in her own personal life. Um, and over time, when you point out examples like that, then people get to, sort of decide what they need to shift in their personal lives, and their reasons for shifting it. What is it about this relationship that I'm avoiding, or this, relationship with a family member or whatever that I'm avoiding? So that's the concept of secondary gains. Hope you enjoyed listening to it. And I hope you have a wonderful, connected, warm, loving, optimistic, passionate day. God bless.